if there's anything that pisses me off more about this gig of recording other people, it's the fact that so many of them people are so. I'm gonna just go ahead and call it selfish because I think that really covers it. They're used to. I remember when I was 16 or 15, whatever I was, and I had my little 10-watt practice amp on my guitar, and I had the gain all the way up, and who knows what else was going on, and never did it ever occur to me at that particular time. Of course, I didn't really care about tone so much. I was just trying to figure out where to put my damn fingers and stuff, but on the guitar, but. It never occurred to me that that particular tone would have to like work with somebody else. And what you really find, and this is still prevalent with bands who've played 1,000 gigs and all this business, they're indoctrinated to think that like, this is my tone, this is who I am. And that's one side, and I can respect having your own individual tone. I encourage that. But on the other hand, you got these guys too that and it seems to be kind of joined at the hip for some reason. But they say that like I don't want none of that thin crap. Everything sounds thin. I want mine thick. And of course, no one really knows what that necessarily means. I do know that for any given mix, we more or less have a frequency response curve we kind of have to go for. That's kind of sort of what mastering is supposed to be kind of a last final barrier to make sure you don't screw up. But let's just take a listen here. Let's just pretend that, again, we're dealing with synths here. Synths are easier for me to tweak. We can adjust the source so much easier than with guitars and stuff. And these concepts applied identically to both genre or all genres, really. So, anyway, let's pretend I'm making a synth. I just got drums and bass going, I think. Let me see. Yeah! Okay, so I got this big super solid type of synth here, and it's going and it's fine, right? And I could say, yeah, it's big and thick, and it's got like a healthy bottom end and healthy low mid type thing going on. Healthy as in maybe too much. It's definitely not thin at this point. Let's say that. Okay, and so we got this synth. Yeah! And I'm already wondering about like 300 in there, by the way. I'm already wondering. But I could just see some of the guitar players I deal with, some of the synth guys I've dealt with, thinking that like, oh, I want that in there. I want this to sound big. Okay, whatever their definition of big is. Now we got a bass here. Let's put that in there, along with this synth. Yeah! Yeah! And you know what that is? That's mush. That is a mess. And everybody's going to have their own taste on this, so develop your own. Maybe you are a thick type person, whatever. But what I feel is we have a big damn mess, and it sounds like to me that main synth is now fighting the bass. The main synth is going, woo, it's got all kinds of junk down low, and the bass is now a big, kind of a mushy glob of crap, and I don't like it. So let's listen to just the bass a minute and make sure we're good on it. Okay, and I'm taking some liberties there with the bass. This is electronic music, and you can do that sort of thing. Definitely not a normal sound. It doesn't sound like an Ampeg or something like that. So, I am happy with it. I like the low end on it. I like the low mid. I like everything about that particular stupid sound. So, to me, we have to get over this bedroom mentality of like, this is my tone. Don't you change it, you stupid engineer. And of course, that could be I understand both sides of that coin too. Some engineers have ruined a lot of things. God knows I have. But how about instead of thinking every damn thing in the deal here has to sound big, as if we're playing by ourselves in our bedroom, why don't we take this synth and listen to what's bad about it? And I already know. I've already got my EQ right here. You can tell what I did. Let's go ahead and listen. Yeah! All right, now let's go ahead and I'm going to turn this EQ on now, and I'm pulling out, how many decibels is that? Just 2 decibels. It looks kind of extreme here, but now listen. Yeah! Again before. Yeah! And after. when I hear that right there, I don't think like, yeah, before, yeah, it was real big, and now it's thin and stupid. Instead, I hear before it felt like it was just like a little clumsy. It felt like somebody was in the way, something was wrong. I don't know. Call it whatever you want, but I did not like it. It didn't feel as quick. That's stupid too, but you know what I'm talking about. It didn't feel as agile. That's even worse, as I wanted. So I trimmed that fat right off. And then let's see. Of course, I did this in context, so let's see what happens. But the thing is, I did it in context, but I also like the sound soloed. That's a big deal. Now we'll turn our bass back on, and let's listen. To me, that sounds bigger than it did before the EQ, before thinning it out. The bass itself was struggling, and you're has some kind of, I don't know, just when it's too much, it's not big. So by taking the time to say, forget this bedroom business and making all tracks work together however they need to, and thinning out what needs to be thinned out, you can really take your productions to a whole another level. Shut up, dog. Oh, Panzer making an appearance as always. This is a big problem too with metal guitars with a low end. Some guys really, really want just where they hear that low end is like they want to hear it in the subs. And what I always like to ask those guys when they demand that subwoofer, low end like they hear in their 412 cabinet, we'll ask them two things. I go, one, can you bring in a CD that has that kind of low end on the guitars? To this day, I've not found an electric guitar, like metal guitar recording, where when the palm mutes were just pushing the subs like crazy. No one's ever brought one in. So keep that in mind. That's part of this bedroom mentality crap, is thinking that what you hear in your bedroom playing in your amp is the same. But the other thing I ask them is, what do you want bigger, the kick drum or the electric guitar? Because they're in their head, they're thinking there's all this low end down there. It's, again, part of the bedroom thing. But then when you say, well, okay, the kick drum is going boom, 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 where do you want your guitars to fit in? And when you start have them think about the kick drum, and this applies to you and me as well, start thinking about that kick drum that you want to be pounding those subs, all of a sudden there's not a whole lot of room for something to think about. And so anyway, this happens, and I'm sure it happens in classical music. I bet like the orchestra guys who write their, all their little, what do you call those things? I don't even know their names. Symphonies. See, don't listen to me about music. Anyway, they're writing their symphonies. They are already well aware of a trumpet does this or an oboe does that, whatever. But they've already kind of done all that in their arrangement. And that's, of course, another issue. But anyway, the point here is not to be shy about, I wouldn't say running the tone, but taking a tone that maybe some guy in his bedroom thought was great, and just lie to him. Tell him you made it good, and never let him hear it soloed. And thin stuff out that doesn't need to be there. And basically make this whole thing work as a unit. That's your whole job, is mixing. That's why it's called mixing and not individualizing or whatever. Anyway, guys, thanks. Bye.